Aloha and welcome to the live broadcast. My name is Mailani Makaina'i, and I'm here sharing with each and every one of you what I've been able to do with the mentorship, how it's helped students and their families get their start in the industry, and how it's led them to write their own music, create their own videos, and work with a solid team that has been a part of this industry for over 20 plus years now. But aloha and welcome. I hope that each and every one of you are home safely watching this. If you're in traffic, please make sure that you're driving safely. And in the meantime, get ready with a notebook and pen as we begin. So we're kind of just waiting for more people to jump on. Aloha to my 2 viewers. I will never underestimate the power of 1 because 1 is greater than 0. And you never know who that one person is. That they can be possibly someone who knows Oprah, someone who knows the owner of Coca-Cola in the islands. You just never know. So aloha and welcome. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. So I have taken this concept of creating a mentorship for the youth of Hawaii that's extremely interested in the music industry for so many reasons. The first reason is because I have a wealth of experience to share. The second reason is because when I was coming up in the industry, no one really taught me what I'm teaching students now. And so what did I have to do? I had to learn the hard way. I had to learn by making mistakes. I had to learn by trial and error. These days, we have so many different resources, people that you can call upon that are happy to give out advice and are happy to take you under their wing. And I saw myself finally for the first time in this year, actually in the year of 2016, in the fall of 2016, of being that person, of being a mentor and a coach, and really helping our youth create and mold their path in this industry. So those were like the 2 main reasons. The third reason why I decided to create this mentorship and program is because, like myself, I met a lot of other parents out there who have children that are very gifted and talented. Many kids can sing and act. There's children who are just naturally beautiful, and they might have a pursuit in modeling. There's also students out there, kids out there who maybe they don't sing very well, but they have a gift of writing. And for me, I always get very excited, extremely excited when I get to meet kids that have that ability to really affect others, to really uplift others' lives through music, through acting, through modeling, whatever it is. But my area of focus is, of course, in music. I also saw parents spending a lot of money in talent schools. And I don't want to really bring up their names because that's not the point of this webinar. But I saw parents spend a lot of money in talent schools where they could have put their money elsewhere and have created more results, and they could have made a bigger impact in that child's beginning of that child's path and career, quite possibly. The services that these families were getting and what they paid for were just very, they weren't on the same level. So they were paying a lot of money, but they weren't receiving the value. Aloha, aloha guys, aloha to the pakeles, aloha to Kaulana, Lisa, and of course Kamale, the lovely Kamale, who, if you guys are on board watching this webinar, check out the Mailani Hawaii page. Kamale Pakele has been one of my students since October, and she's bloomed incredibly as a result of attending this mentorship and being one of my lovely and gifted students. So mahalo, thank you for watching. So getting back to the other reason of why I decided to start this mentorship, I've seen a lot of parents spend a lot of money on their kids in vocal training, in having them go away to LA and doing a showcase, and it's their first one. And a lot of those showcases are extremely expensive. Showcases can cost anywhere from $8,000 to $10,000. Basically what a showcase is, to give you some education, a showcase is where maybe 40 to 50 of the top agents, be it in New York or LA, will come to a showcase. your child will be one of hundreds of other kids that go up on stage, and either you perform a song or you can perform a monologue. Sometimes you have to do it by yourself, or sometimes you can have a classmate or someone to help you with that. $10,000 for 2 minutes lucky on stage, that's tough. That's a little tough. Just to give you a background on myself, that's exactly what I did. That's what I did for my daughter, because my daughter has a natural gift of acting, and she really saw herself acting and she enjoyed it. And of course, we were all seduced by Hollywood and the whole Friday Night Lights thing. And that's exactly what myself, my husband, and my family put forth, because we believed that this was going to be her only chance. So we spent an incredible amount of money, and we went up there for a great showcase. In the meantime of planning for that showcase, because basically we made that investment, and 6 months later of making that investment, that's when the showcase takes place. So in that meantime, we still made sure that my daughter was coached. We had hired a coach. We put her in other classes. My daughter went all the way up to Los Angeles. She did very well. I'm a pretty decent judge of character and of talent. And aside from memorizing her lines, my daughter acted out her part incredibly well. But we came home empty-handed. We came home with no deal, no callbacks. None of the national agencies wanted her. And they were probably looking for something more specific that Ha'e my daughter just did not fit. So that burned me deep down inside, because here I am, I'm a mom, I'm part of this industry. I know what talent is. I make sure that when I make my investments, I calculate what my risks are. I calculate the likelihood and the probability of my investments giving me a return somehow. And so that was a huge wake-up call for me in terms of the LA and New York markets. So my idea was, hello, why am I kind of running around the horse track, making myself exhausted, expending all this energy, when I should have really spent the time to help my daughter focus on her talents and her skills here at home, instead of spend all this money going there and she wasn't ready. So another thing that happened is we came home. Ha'e, my daughter, also was extremely, she was pretty heartbroken and humbled at the same time. The sweetest thing was that she was very happy for her classmates that did get signed. She was very, very happy for her cousin that did get signed. And seeing that from her, I'm really happy that she had that attitude. We didn't give up, but now I'm focusing it back on the mentorship. That's when I realized that parents, families, young kids, especially from Hawaii, a place that I love, a place that I call home, are looking for opportunities for their kids to be able to grow their skills and understand the industry from someone like myself, someone that's been in the industry all this time. And I just saw an opportunity for me not only to create another career path, but also to give back to our kids. I felt that it was a huge kuleana, a huge responsibility for me to share what I've experienced and for me to give the information back to our people back home here. Because Hawaii is such a unique place. And our Hawaiians, our local community, our Hawaii residents, we're a very unique bunch. We're a very unique family-oriented people. And it's only right that before a family leaves Hawaii and does exactly what I just did last year, I'm a voice of reason to help them sort through their thoughts and their feelings. And I'm a good judge of character to take a look at talent and see where they are, where they fall in terms of making a huge leap of faith like that. So that's how the mentorship started initially. Those are my feelings and my thoughts from the very beginning of starting this. And I'm very happy and very thankful to say that I've had a lot of great families behind me, behind their own children, that have done very successfully well, at least on the social media platforms, and also through the public performances that I've been able to help hook them up with. Why is that important? Well, today we're living in a very, very viral world. Viral, if you have a video that goes viral, that means you have a video that has at least 1 million hits or more. And why is that important? Well, that's very important because prior to social media, in my days, in Kaulana Pakele's days, if you guys don't know the name Kaulana Pakele, he's from the group Mana'o Company. He also formed a duo called High Risk. I think it's a duo or trio called High Risk. And he's also been performing in the industry for a very long time as well. I've known him. He's like, I call him my brother. But since Kaulana's joining, I want to share that we didn't have the leverage of social media in our days when we were starting out. We didn't have the opportunity to share our songs, our videos, our music, and our stories the way we do today. And so how did we come about in the industry? Well, we came about in the industry performing, gigging, writing, putting up flyers on telephone poles, talking about our music as much as we could, sending donuts to the program directors at radio stations, and just hitting the pavement and gigging weekly for years until we were finally noticed by someone that wanted to invest in an album, invest in a single. Those were the things that we had to do in our days in order to get noticed and in order to get our start in the industry. So that's completely different these days, because nowadays when a student or child, even an artist that's older than 18, we call that 18 legal. That's the terminology for someone who's an adult. It doesn't matter if you're 30, 40, 50, 60 years old, you can call yourself 18 legal. Anyhow, now we're seeing a new way of getting noticed, and that is through the power of social media. That's through many of these alternative platforms that we now have available to all of us 24/7, everywhere in the world, globally. So we have the YouTubes, we have the Patreons, we've got the Snapchat, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, the leader of them all, Facebook, to share your stories. That has created a brand new way into the house, or a way into being noticed, a way into the industry, is through the leveraging of your social media. So because of all of these assets that we now have as individuals, as groups, as partners, as people, it's really important that you utilize your social media in the smartest way. Okay, so people talk about content, building content, and then also your context. What is your context? Your context is basically your captions. How do you caption your video? How do you share with the world that what you have is worth watching for more than 5 seconds? How do you share with the world that what you have is worth listening to for more than 5 seconds? And so a huge part of all of this is through your story. It's through your storytelling. And I just told my story of why this started. So getting to the focal point of this webinar, aside from sharing my mentorship and my team, I want to very much share that we will be heading to Hawaiʻi Island, Kailua Kona more specifically, this July, to share with the youth there on Hawaiʻi Island, because there's been a lot of expressed interest from the different islands to attend the mentorship. But many of the students, because they live on different islands, they can't really make it out to Oahu. Now that the summer's coming up, this is a great opportunity. If you have a child, if you have a cousin, if you have a friend, aunts and uncles, you have a niece, a nephew out there that you see has a potential and has the want, the i'ini, that burning desire to be on stage, to sing, to share their story and their music, this mentorship is definitely more than an opportunity for them, not only because of myself, but also because of the people that I work with. So we will be doing this music camp. It's going to be from, let's see, about July 5th to, I'm sorry, no. July 12th to the 15th. So you will get from July 12th to the 15th, that's 4 days. Not only will you be working with me and my team, but it's going to be an intense training. Okay, an intense training. The music camp will consist of intense training in regards to the music industry as an artist. Okay, student artists will gain an understanding of artist management relations, of course, vocal lessons, intellectual property, and understanding what those are, publishing, copyright, how to promote your work through traditional marketing, and leveraging the power of your social media platforms. So that'll take us, of course, more than 5 days to learn, but at least you'll have your blueprint. Okay. I want to talk about goals. I want to bring up goals too right now, because we all have goals in life. This is now the middle of May 2017. Let me see a show of hands, or just say yes or no if any of you have created your New Year's resolutions earlier this January and you're close to completing your goals, or you already hit your goals by the middle of May. Say yes, say no. Let me see. Let me see a show of hands. Sorry about that. Yes, no. I'm going to say aloha on the feed. Okay, well, I guess everyone's kind of shy. I don't see any comments here. Well, the point of asking you about your goals is that in order to reach a pinnacle or the top of the mountain, you have to what? You have to start walking towards that mountain at least. And then you have to start making your way up to that mountain peak. And oftentimes I always hear people say, you know, I want $1 million. I want to be able to make $1 million. And for me, the first thought that comes to mind is, well, let's see if you can make awesome. Good job. Great job, Pakele Ohana. So the first thought that comes to mind when people tell me that they want to make $1 million and that's a part of their lifetime goals, my thought too, and not just for them, but even for myself, is, okay, well, let's start with at least making $10,000. And after I've made my first $10,000, then let's see me doubling that. So that'll be my 20. And after I make my 20, let's see if I can double that again. That'll be 40. And you go on and on and on. A lot of the smartest people I've ever met, and the most financially secure people I've ever met as well, they'll mention this to me. I have mentors of my own, and they'll share with me to just take it in baby steps, to take your time with it. Now, don't take so much time that you're just kind of evading the action. You can't do that. You have to purposely and intentionally put action towards your goals every single day. Every single day. Still working on some goals and readjust some goals. Yes, I hear you and I feel you too. Awesome. But when it comes to creating your goals and your list, you need a roadmap, basically, a blueprint. And the mentorship and myself as a mentor will go forth in helping you create your own blueprint. You know, students, they want to be on stage. They want to create their own albums. They want to have a song on the radio. And artists like myself, artists like Kaulana, we know that none of those things happen overnight. In fact, creating an album can take anywhere from 2 weeks, which I've done before, to 6 months, to 3 years. And I've done all of the above before. Life happens. You know, you really also have to have faith. Okay, whatever God you believe in, I'll call him God, I'll call him Akua, whatever spiritual higher force that you believe in, you really have to also lend your faith to that higher being. Because sometimes there's things that take place in life that you absolutely have no control over. Sometimes things are ordered just the way they are. And I'm learning that now in my young age of 37, that is very, very true. There's things that take place that you have no control over. You can go back and forth in your mind over and over again, and it makes you not sleep at night, to the point where you really have to just release your want of control and realize that you are on this path for a reason and that you're being led. So for each and every one of you that's watching, mahalo for joining me. And I believe that you're being led to this for a reason, for a specific purpose. Each student will also receive and experience a high quality photo shoot with CM Digital Media Hawaii. Cody Matsuda is the photog and videographer. Cody has worked with multiple experts in the local music industry, fashion industry, and oversaw media for live events, manages webinars such as this one, videos, and has also photographed various events like weddings, pregnancy photos, newborn photos, family photos, even covers for albums, etc., etc. The list goes on. We've done Ola Kaha over at Iolani Palace for the past 3 years. we've managed a lot of different types of events. And so the media person we have on staff is all about making the artist, the student, the content be the best that it can be. Why is this important? It's very important because I've also had experiences with my daughter, having enrolled her in different things, and that's what we as parents do. And maybe they have a photo shoot, they have a concert, whatever it is, and the value and the care of the integrity of the team and the integrity of the production has suffered tremendously because maybe they hired a photographer and it was just a chop shop gig for him. So it was like one kid after the next. And I've seen photographers come in with a wrinkled backdrop. I can't even imagine how any photographer does that. Maybe he or she will come in with one flash. And again, I can't even imagine how anybody in this industry will come in like that, because business and your work ethic will speak for itself, and people talk. And word of mouth marketing, word of mouth sharing, all of those things make a big deal. They make a big difference in your business. Huge. That has not changed from the time we did not have social media to now. That is still very much the current, and the reason why we have social media is to connect people and to connect people's thoughts, reviews, observations of each other, of one another, of businesses. And so I've seen that happen. And I want to mention that your photo shoot will be of high quality. We only use the best equipment. We only make sure that the child, the artist, or the student is shot in the most representable way, and commercially viable way as well. That's very important. Okay, another reason why students, or this is important to me, is because sometimes students, artists, children, they'll go to a photo shoot, print those photos, and printing also costs a lot of money. They'll go all the way to LA, and those photos are no good. Those photos are blurry. Those photos do not have the right amount of, what am I looking for? What words am I looking for? The quality of the photos suffered because the photographer was either ill-equipped, not experienced enough, and that compromised that student, that child, that artist's photo shoot. Okay, so photo shoots can cost anywhere from $500 up to $1,000 and more. We're talking high end, we're talking high quality, and we're talking HD, high definition. But the photo shoot that the students in this mentorship camp, music camp, will be receiving is going to be of high quality. And so basically, I really want to share that. Every single student, artist, actor, model, singer, no matter how old you are, you should, in the very least, have headshots. And this is just the truth of the business. If you show up to an audition and you don't have any one of those things, that shows the panelists that this is your first rodeo and you are very brand new. It shows the panelists that you don't know what you're doing. And so that's why the headshots will come in addition to this mentorship music camp on Hawaiʻi Island. Because in the very least, every student, every artist, every actor, model, musician, singer should be having their headshots. And while you're submitting or auditioning throughout the years for different parts, the rule of thumb is that you're supposed to be having a headshot every 6 months, because your looks change. Especially if you're a child, your looks change. Even if you're an adult, your looks change. Sometimes people gain weight, sometimes people lose weight. Sometimes your hair changes as a result of 6 months. So that's the rule of thumb. And I'm just giving that as a nugget for each and every one of you to think of as you're planning your blueprint and as you're planning this pathway for your child or even for yourself. Okay. Also joining this music camp is none other than my business partner, my partner in crime, the notable Miss Kau'i Deliri. So I'm going to share with you why she's been so important, and she's such an integral part of our business, my business. She's a multiple Nahoku Hanohano Award winner. She's been an author, also haku mele. So she's won awards in writing in Hawaiian, writing Hawaiian music in mele. She is a Miss Aloha Hula 1992 and also a Kumu Hula. She's a Dillery, second daughter of the world infamously known Aloha Dillery. She's a previous owner of the record label called Poi Pounders. I don't know if you folks remember the groups like 3 Plus, Robi Kahakalau. I'm sure we all know Robi. What about Ho'onua and Kahiau? So Kau'i's ex-husband was Sean Na'awal. And they both together built this mega record label. They've helped take young artists, the artists that I'm talking about right now, and they've they basically catapulted them out into the industry, and they were extremely successful. I'm sure every one of you have heard the song Two Person Party, Honey Baby, maybe even Mystic Man. It's a cover, but still, they made it their own. Ho'onua 2500, Ho'onua Blue Light, Ho'onua Doesn't Matter What You Said, Doesn't Matter, There's No Place I'd Rather Be Than With You. Something, I can't even think of it. From the mountain to the sea, easy as 1, 2, 3. Anyhow, I remember Ho'onua. I went to UH Manoa, and every single dorm from Wainani all the way up to Kahawai, they were blasting these groups, 3 Plus, Ho'onua, nonstop. I'll never forget that. Those are like really good 19, 20, 21, 22-year-old memories for me. That, and I always smelled Simon because it's the cheapest thing you can eat when you're a college student. Anyhow, Kau'i has been the leader of projects from the time she was in her 20s. And then she took a little bit of a break because she was a mom. She's a mom of 5 young men, 5 young boys. Then together we created Hot Enterprises. Now, Hot Enterprises is unique because here I am as an artist, and here she is as all of the things that I have mentioned before. And she's also a previous owner of a record label. And so we conjoined together. And aside from helping my own personal music career as Mailani and having recorded multiple Hawaiian albums and also island contemporary albums, we created some really great music. One of my first albums that I released with Hot Enterprises and with Kau'i was an album called Manava. We recorded Hamame Ka'iu, which Kau'i wrote. It did very well internationally. Then we released a Christmas album, which is really great, Mele Kaliki Maka, how original. And then we also released and went up to Los Angeles for this, an album called Pacific Gem. Love that album. If you've never heard of it, check it out. It's a really good album as well. We actually recorded this at a studio in LA off of Laurel Canyon called Killingsworth. That's a very unique story of how all of that came together. And I came home, returned home, and I've been recording Hawaiian all over again. It's been a great journey. So now I have an EP out, EP called Extended Play. Basically, there's 5 mele on this EP, and that is called Aloi Kealo. Aloi Kealo, Face to Face. So aside from releasing these projects and working on these projects with me and being my manager and a co-owner of this label, we've also produced and promoted and developed other artists like Whoever and even Josh Tatofi. So we try not to take on too much on our plates because that's a lot. That's a lot of work. Anyhow, people grow up, people grow out of it. A lot of things happen in this crazy industry of music, especially locally. Our local entertainment industry is tiny, it's tight, but it's extremely unique. I've been able to go all over the world and share my music and also speak, share stories, share mo'olelo, teach ukulele, teach vocal lessons. I've been able to speak at events like TEDx, and I've even gotten to sing the national anthem at the Pacers game in Indiana. So a lot of great stuff on my resume. But anyhow, Kau'i is she's a very strong manager. And I think it's very important for any of you who are considering to be a part of this industry, whether you have a good voice or not, whether you're a great songwriter or not, whether you see yourself as an actor or as a model, to understand an artist and manager relationship. Because having a manager is huge in your career. It's very important. It's like having a mini mom. You know, if you're watching and you're a young child, you're under the age of 18, imagine having a mom, but for your career. Okay, so there's a lot of different mana'o and opinions when it comes to parent managers. We call them momagers because most of the time they're like momagers. A very good example of this is, of course, Kris Jenner. Kris Jenner of the Kardashians. She manages all of her daughters' careers, from modeling to acting to endorsing different products. Kris Jenner is she's a whip. And basically, when I think of Kris Jenner and I think of Hawaiʻi, there's really not much of a difference. Hawaiʻi is a hard worker. She drives a really good bargain, and she's on it. She's on every single email. She's on every single call. And even if it's 2 a.m. because she needs to talk to somebody in Japan or in New York, she's on those calls to help represent me and my career and my brand. So students will also get to meet her and listen to her and get a feel for what this industry is, if they really want to be a part of it, and what they will do from then on out after this music camp that we have for a few days. So aloha, thank you. I have 8 viewers. Awesome. That's great news for me. If you folks have any questions specifically, please hit me up. I'm gonna wait and see if you guys got any questions for me. Any questions? Okay, cool. All right. So I'm going to go down the list one by one, why these things are important, these things that I have listed for the music camp. Okay, everything starts with a song. I've heard Mark Bernstein say this. I've heard even John DeMello talk about the importance of a song. And if you don't know these names, Mark Bernstein is a music lawyer. He's one of Hawaii's top music lawyers. Oh, awesome, great. Do. Aloha to Shar, aloha nui. Yes, I'm gonna definitely get in touch with you. Let's talk story. I'm gonna put down my number. That's my number for starters. And then also, in the meantime, please like the Mailani Hawaii fan page. I post all of my Mailani Hawaii music mentorship information up there. And I also share our students and what they've been able to accomplish as a result of being a student in my mentorship program. And also what they're doing outside of class. I also want to share with each and every one of you that we just completed a really great concert that went towards a good cause. We talked about anti-bullying in our class and also at the concert. And each of our students talked about that briefly in their segment of the show. Actually, this camp that I'm sharing is going to be on Hawaiʻi Island in Kailua Kona. So I'm going to Hawaiʻi Island. It's the camp. No, the camp is different. The music camp is different because I can't create everything that I've done for the mentorship. And I'm talking about the videos. I'm talking about the live performances. Well, I can do that on Hawaiʻi Island, actually. I'm in talks with a promoter there. But I'm talking about the video and then even the demo coming into our home studio to record. Yeah, not all of those items will students get to have. They're gonna have to come and make time to fly to Oahu to do that, like Shacey did. So just to also give you guys a brief background on a student that came from a different island. I have a student, her name is Shacey Joy Nihao, and I have been giving her voice lessons since last year to now. And I've had this really open relationship with her mother, Ursula, and we've been talking because Ursula really wanted her daughter to come to Oahu and receive everything that the mentorship students were receiving. So while I was thinking about it, knowing that she doesn't live on the island of Oahu, I looked at the week of spring break. And so I had planned spring break out for her daughter to come into Oahu. And I tied it in with our concert as well so that Shacey could get the opportunity not only to record her demo and her video and also learn the business more intensely, because I was only doing vocal lessons with Shacey via FaceTime or Skype. But she actually took only the phase 1 of the Mailani Hawaiʻi mentorship. And so basically, Shacey came in for the week and she had an accelerated course. It was just her every day for 5 days. Yeah, every day for 5 hours for 5 days. It was a pretty exhausting schedule on her. And this is Shacey. She's only 10, 11 years old, but she nailed it. And that also comes with the understanding that Shacey is a student and artist that's been groomed for the industry. She's been performing since she was 3 years old. So someone like Shacey can do it. She could do it because of that. Okay. Live in Hilo, and I believe we spoke. Yes, I remember you. Awesome. Well, thank you so much. You can definitely come to all anytime. But right now I'm trying to help grow this program and the music camp in Kailua Kona, where the students can at least get a feel of what the mentorship is like. And they'll also get their headshots. But thank you. Mahalo, Shar. We'll be in touch. I'll make sure I talk to you more about it. Thank you. So I was mentioning Mark Bernstein. He's a music lawyer in Hawaii, very famous, very notably known. He's represented a lot of the artists through Mountain Apple Company. If you don't know who Mountain Apple Company, there's a few names I can shout out to you, like Israel Kamaka Viva Ole. They've represented Iz and his music for years. They've also been a past label of mine as well. I had recorded my very first Hawaiian music album with them, self-entitled Mailani, and my second solo Hawaiian music album called Aina. So I've been with Mountain Apple Company as well. And anyways, getting back to Mark Bernstein and John DeMello, who's the owner of Mountain Apple Company, they would talk about the importance of a song and the importance of writing your own song. So this is also what students get as a result of being in this camp. Is how do you craft your mana'o? How do you craft your songs? How do you craft your thoughts and put it into a song? Is it important to play your own instrument? Well, I'm a musician. And as a musician, I have to say yes. Yes, yes, yes. It's very important to at least know how to play the ukulele or a guitar. It's important to understand timing and tempo. It's important to understand chord progressions and the structure of chords. And how do you learn how to do that? Well, you learn how to play an instrument and you learn how to play other people's songs. And that has been the best blueprint for me in terms of songwriting. I've written over 100 songs in my lifetime. You haven't heard all of them, but there's some exercises that I do so that I can have content to build upon. Yes, I have collaborated with other musicians. Just recently with Aloha All, I worked with Wailao Ryder. He's a great guitarist. He plays contemporary music and Hawaiian music and country music. And so for me, as an artist, working with another artist like that, it's like, wow, the freedoms of working with people who understand what I hear in my mind and how they can produce it. It just makes me as a singer, as an artist, so happy. So do you have to play your own instrument? Well, you don't have to, but it's an asset if you do. It's like an extra tool in your toolbox if you know how to play an instrument. It's great to collaborate with other musicians, because sometimes other musicians they'll open a window in your mind. They'll be like, oh, look over here. And they'll let some wind in and they'll give you a new sound. And you start to hear that and write about that. So that's like really, really important. If you're not a great musician, that's okay. But then you can write with a musician. So that's why it's important. That's why for me, I'm biased because I do play my own instruments. I've been playing my own instruments since I was a little kid. And for me, I didn't have to always wait for someone to come home for me to play. I didn't have to wait for an artist to meet up with me or wait for someone to play an instrument for me to write. You guys kind of get what I'm saying? When you play your own instrument, you're there in solitude, playing your own song and feeling your own soul out with your words. So we have exercises to really help these kids write their own music. We're going to be releasing, Mailani Hawaiʻi is going to be releasing a new video by a student artist, Shani Mira Fuentes. She writes a song called I'm Not Your Ordinary Girl. Really great song. It's well written. I'm very proud of her. We've been working on it for the past couple of months, and bam, now she has an original song. So those are things that are important to me, because you can sing covers and that's still very advantageous to you. And you can record videos of you singing covers. And that is, like I said, that there's nothing wrong with it. In fact, it's advantageous for you. It's an asset. It's like Voice Avenue. I'm going to write that down. Voice Avenue. Look up that group on YouTube. They record every single hot new song there is out there. And they've been able to create a career for themselves as YouTube stars, but also as regular, normal musicians, because as a result of them covering other people's music, they've created their own songs. They've written their own songs. And that's a plus. That's a huge plus when you have an audience, a fan base. Those are all important to build. Start building it now. And keep up with the momentum. You have to maintain your audience. You just lightly maintain your audience. It's like having a neighbor. You know, everyone leaves for work at 7 a.m. You get out the garage, you're saying hi, aloha, how's it going? Everyone comes home at 5 p.m. Hey, how's it going? How's your day? How's your mom doing? You know, it's a little bit of that. You're maintaining the relationship with your audience. It's very important to do. Let's see. I talk briefly about sound, the live sound, and operating your own soundboard, but I'm not going to get into that just yet. I'm talking about the music camp taking place in Kailua Kona in the month of July. In the meantime, if any of you parents are interested in having your child attend the mentorship, just keep in contact with me. More spots will be opening up after the summer's done, because it's just been it's been pretty busy. We also have training in live performance. Okay, that's very, very important, because performing in front of your parents and your friends and family, that's fine and dandy. But performing in front of a community, performing in front of strangers and audience, those are two different things. Two different things. And if you want a place in this career, if you want a place in this industry, and again, whatever it is, as an actor, as a dancer, as a model, as a singer, then you're going to have to put out whatever comfort levels and whatever fears you might have. You're going to have to set that aside and perform in front of strangers the same, or if not better, than you do in front of your friends and family. Okay, that's important, because friends and family will always be there to support you. Most groups get their start because friends and family come out to the shows. They fill up the venues, they're ticket purchasers, they buy the food, they buy the alcohol. Those are all things that venues, managers, promoters will look at. They will look at you as an artist and see, okay, how much pull will this artist create? Will this artist sell out the place? Will it become standing room only? Will this artist help push sales on the bar? Or, you know, this is just the reality of it all, guys. Will this artist help boost with sponsorship? And even the sponsors. If a sponsor is going to support an event, they're going to ask, who is the artist? And how strong is this artist's pull? How strong is this artist's presence in the marketplace? Okay, does this artist have, is this artist established? Does this artist have an album? How do we know this artist? Does this artist have a website? Does this artist have a calendar that's full? These are things that people on the commercial side will look at when it comes to hiring your child or hiring you as an artist. So how do you boost up your resume? And how do you boost the likelihood that you will be called upon, hired, or even given the chance to open for someone that has that power? What if you could open for Fiji? What if you could open for Anuhea? What if you could open for India Ire? I'm sorry. What if you could open for Ire Love? I always call Ire Love India Ire. But what if you could open for, or even Kimie? What if you could open for the green? What if you could open for Maoli? These are all very important things to consider as you're jumping into this music scene. So I want to educate each and every one of you in terms of this industry and in terms of becoming an artist, that yes, you have to be able to sing. Yes, you have to be able to look good. Those are all things that leverage your opportunities. You have to be able to speak and communicate to the crowd. But how do you find the people that get you to that stage? And just letting you know, I have the people in my own group, in my own family, and on my own staff, people that's part of the Mailani Hawaiʻi Mentorship, that have been able to do that, not only for myself, but for others. And that's my plan, is to really take our youth from Hawaii and lift them up, so that not only can they succeed here locally throughout the islands, but if they have the desire to go away, if they want to do the LA circuit, if they want to try for more, then I want them to be able to have a portfolio. I want them to be able to have a foundation on which they can stand upon. And so that's why this music camp, at least for Kailua Kona, will give them the building blocks for that alone. Same like my mentorship. The mentorship is something completely different, because students enroll for the mentorship 2 to 3 months out. And that's a commitment. The families make a commitment. And we're all aware of what commitments are. Living in Hawaii, I'm sure many of the families watching, you have a child in hula, and that's a lifelong commitment. If you have a child in jujitsu or martial arts, that's a lifelong commitment. If they're playing club volleyball, club soccer, oh my gosh, that's also big time commitment. Your kids are out there on the field. Your kids are out there in class. Your kids are out there on the mat, practicing a couple times a week, all for one of the bigger events, okay? And so it is a intense training. This is also an accelerated course, because I'm only going to be coming for about a week's time. And you will leave at least with a foundation on which to stand upon, at least with a foundation on which to get a start. You want to go to The Voice one day? That's great. Go to The Voice. I want you to be my next success story. But you can't get there if you don't have these things in place, like your headshot, like a bio, like experience on stage, or a coach, or a mentor, or a teacher, or a director, or a producer on your resume. People will not take you seriously if you don't invest in building up that resume. They'll look at you and they'll see you as someone who just wants success overnight. And it just doesn't happen. Now, I want to talk about Auli'i Carvalho. Great girl, man. Great kid. It would seem that Auli'i Carvalho, and if you guys don't know the name Auli'i Carvalho, then where have you been? She's the voice of Moana, of Disney and Pixar's Moana. I've also been to Pixar. Oh my gosh, what a cool place. I'll talk about that another time. Anyway, getting back to Auli'i. It would seem that Auli'i is a unicorn. She's an overnight success. But I will tell each and every one of you that you are all mistaken if you think that Auli'i Carvalho got that audition and just landed it overnight. No ways. Auli'i's parents, Auli'i's family, Auli'i herself, they knew that she had a desire to sing. They knew that she had potential. They knew that she had a voice. So what did they do? Well, they enrolled her in multiple things to build up her talent, to build up her confidence, to build up her voice, to build up this. They've pushed her in the direction to get her to that opportunity of just trying out for the Moana. So don't think that Auli'i is just an overnight success. No ways. That pretty little thing from Hawaii has been training for a few years now. And after her success with Moana, she's been on this global campaign of sharing with the world the movie of Moana, and sharing with the world Polynesia, sharing with the world her Hawaiian roots. Now, as a Hawaiian, as a Kanaka, I am just immensely proud of Auli'i. I'm proud of not only what she did, but what she's going to continue to do. Okay, so if you can think of the work that she had to do to get there in the first place, and then also the work of being in the studio and recording line after line, multiple takes, we don't know, countless, possibly, more than possibly. She also had to do the promotional campaign to promote the movie. Traveling in multiple time zones, not getting sick, eating the right foods, the right nutritional items that's going to fuel her body to give her the energy that she needs in order to follow through with her deal, with her agreements, which is to promote this movie. She's been able to do it. And so we also saw her at the Oscars. Oh my God. Oh my God. Here's a Hawaiian girl, a young Hawaiian girl who went up to the world stage, the most elite of elites, the best of performers, of actors, of writers, of directors, of producers, the SAG-AFTRA people, the unions, the Guild Awards people, television, commercials, everything. She went to the world stage and she had every person in that audience in the palm of her hand. She had me in the palm of her hand and I wasn't even there. Okay. Did she sing impeccably? She went off like maybe a couple of notes here and there. But you know what? People loved it because people knew that she was real. People saw that she was pure. And that moved the audience. Now, my question to you is, why do you want to sing? Please feel free to answer right here on the Hangout. Why do you want to sing? Why do you want to be a part of this industry? I want you to know that this industry is tough. People are going to criticize you. Kupuna sometimes are not going to be happy with how you're singing or how you're pronouncing your words, what you're wearing. So hit me up on this Hangout and please answer for me why you want to be a part of this industry. I have a wealth of experience in the music industry. And I'm going to tell you, I've had my highs and I have had my lows. I have made a lot of money and I have lost a lot of money. I want to hear from each and every one of you why you want to be a part of this industry. Hit me up. Waiting for some answers, guys. Anytime now. Oh, there. Aloha. Hey, Brother Steve. Aloha. I hope that you're doing well. Just introducing you guys to Steve Acevedo. He was here recording his original song that we also wrote together yesterday. Steve has a very unique song that will be coming out to the marketplace next month. I'm very excited for that too. The Pakele family, to inspire people to do and be better. I love that answer. That's a great answer. Just to give you guys, and also, I really want to engage more. Please write down your favorite artists. Just hit me with some names. They don't have to be Hawaiian artists or artists from Hawaii, anywhere. Anyone that you're listening to right now, just go ahead and feel free to write some down. Getting back to Steve, though, we wrote a song called, well, it's about Hawaii. And it's about all of the islands and his love for Hawaii, because Steve was not, originally born in New York, and he currently lives here. And he loves Hawaii. Okay, so For each and every one of you who are interested in attending the music mentorship camp in Kailua Kona in July, okay? We're talking July 12th to the 15th. July 12th to the 15th. Please feel free to email me. My name is Mailani Makainai. My email is mailanihi@gmail.com. I'm going to write that down for you. Cool. Yes, Kimie, she's pretty. She's pretty, and I like her song, End of the Rainbow. She's got some really unique ways of writing. It's so cool. She also recorded a cover of mine called La Kahakai. Her and Kalani Pe'a, Grammy Award winner, and Kimie recorded a cover called La Kahakai, and I was so touched that they did that. So beautiful. But please feel free to email me at mailanihi@gmail.com. And I'd be very happy to get back to you with our details of the music camp. You don't want to miss this. Also, since you guys are joining us now, I want to let you know that coming up in the future, Kaulana Pakele will be joining me on an interview, on a live interview. So follow up with my Facebook page, Mailani Hawaii, and even the regular Mailani Makainai page. But I've already capped out on friends. So hit the Mailani Hawaii page, all right? Aloha. Hey, Carissa. Nice to see you. I can't wait to see you. Your brother, Ryan, he sent me the file last night. Good job. Can't wait. Better be ready, girl. Oh, hi. Aloha, Soleil. So nice to meet you. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate it. Aloha, aloha. I'm going to be wrapping up. We only have 3 minutes left, so please, last questions, final questions before I hit end, before I hit stop broadcast. But please join me in Kailua Kona. Even if you live on the island of Oahu and you haven't yet been able to attend the mentorship, and you feel that this is something that you want to do right now, then come and join me this summer on the island of Hawaii in Kailua Kona. It's open to everyone. No questions. You guys are just so nice. No questions at all. I can't help answer any of your burning desires or help you with your blueprint or your roadmap. Okay, guys. Hey, Steve, it's going to be July. Let me write it down for you guys here. July 12th to the 15th in Kailua Kona. From Shar, I as a mother want my child to be all she can be, and I know she has the voice and potential, but how do I make her go for it when she seems so undecided? It's like when they're learning how to swim, you kind of got to just throw them in the water. And that's a very basic answer for your question. But my daughter, same thing. She kind of wanted to do it, but she kind of didn't. I don't want time to pass for these kids. There's so many things that's happening for our kids these days. They're distracted because of video games. They're distracted because of Musical.lys, or they're on the phone all the time. I would really take this moment to see this as a huge opportunity, because it is. I don't know who else is doing this for our youth. Anywhere, here, locally in Hawaii, with this type of work behind it and with the staff that I have. Kamale needs to work on her roadmap, and what is a good place to start? Well, right here with me, Kamale actually has a very good roadmap. She already has all the basic tools of what to do. Check out Diamond Head Kids. There are auditions taking place end of this month. Kamale could try out for The Little Mermaid. That's a new play coming out. No, that's one place to think of it locally. If not, there's some places in LA, definitely people I can hook you guys up with. But Kamale has a roadmap. Now that she's completed all these things to put in her toolbox, Now we have to ask her the hard questions, which is, what do you really want to do and where do you really want to go? And do you really want to work hard enough to get all of it? Because that's the other thing too, is we all know it's tough. We all know it's hard work. And sometimes we have to cut out the other things in our life. Because for me, this has been a lifetime career. I started at the young age of 16 and here I am 37. Woo! So yeah, it's like 21 plus years now. But I realized myself, like I had friends that wanted me to join their paddling hui. I couldn't do that because the commitment for a paddling hui was like every single day. And Saturdays is all day racing and then partying and building relations there. I couldn't be a paddler. So there's tough decisions that everyone has to make, and you really have to look at your umeke. Look at your umeke and look inside of it. Fill it up with water and see yourself reflect back to you and ask, what are the things that you really want? And right now, Kamale has a great umeke because it's filled with all of these things. She's had proper training. I want her to continue with me as well. But in the meantime, you got to ask your question. You got to ask yourself the hard questions, which is, what do you really, really want? And you keep adding to your roadmap. You keep adding to your roadmap. There's things that you can cross off on your roadmap. When you reach them, just like your New Year's resolutions, just like your goals, when you attain them, you cross them off. And you're like, okay, next. Kind of like I want to have $1 million. Well, maybe I should start with my $10,000. Okay, I hit my $10,000. Let's try to double it. My $20,000. Now let's try to double that. Trying to double that. Anyhow, I love each and every one of you, and I'm very, very grateful for you guys joining me. 9 viewers, so awesome. This is more than I had last time. This is just my second webinar. I will be doing more of these on a weekly basis. You folks, take care. God bless. Aloha. And please stay in touch with me. Be in touch with me, all right? Let me know how I can help you guys reach your goals. Aloha.